Okay, today we're going to talk about the process of looking for money for an entrepreneur. And I'm going to try to give you theoretical mechanisms so that you can see patterns and have an intuition for financing. And then I'll get into specifics about financing options and some of the trade-offs. I won't be covering crowdfunding. I'll have another submodule for that. So when you're looking for financing or money for your venture, your business plan will play a role in communicating to potential investors. And some people may be concerned about sharing their plan. The concern is that they make the ideas about the business widely known and someone could copy it. As we've covered in other parts of the course, typically with a business plan you don't require someone to sign a non-disclosure agreement or confidentiality statement just for reading the business plan. That said, it's a good idea to only deal with reputable people, so talk to references and don't share your business plan really widely with people that you don't know anything about, and you probably want to limit the number of copies. And the most important thing is just omit the secret sauce, the sensitive information that could actually give away your secret. Most things can't really be communicated in writing anyway, so a concern that people have that is probably a little bit overblown. And obviously you should proofread and edit before you share it. So the first concept that I want to share about looking for money is this idea of resource exchange. Every time you receive money, it's actually an exchange. You're exchanging resources with resource providers. So you have to think of this as you're creating a relationship. And generally, there's some idea that the relationship, I use this image of a scale, should be balanced. And so what you have to think about is what are the things on the different sides of the scale that make the relationship balanced, and what resources are exchanged. So you're contributing something somehow to the resource provider, and they're contributing something, and I'm going to try to explain that. Another concept that I want to discuss is a theoretical concept that is studied across many disciplines, and I want you to think what's in common with these three pictures. You have a bird, a lizard, and a bunch of students at graduation. Think about what's in common. All three of these pictures show someone or something trying to send a signal. It's like they're waving a flag to send a message to someone. Signaling is discussed in many different disciplines: biology, economics. Stiglitz won the Nobel Prize in economics for this idea of signaling. And basically what he said is that the reason students go to college is because by getting a college degree they're able to communicate some type of information that cannot be observed by employers, but is correlated, meaning it has a relationship with something that can be observed, which is the degree. So he said that if getting a degree is more likely and easier for people who are smart and hardworking, then degree is a useful signal, a useful proxy for those characteristics which an employer can observe. So they can observe the degree, but they can't observe those underlying characteristics. Signaling is an important part of potential resources that you get from resource providers. And we'll come back to that in a second. If you have a mother like mine, she was always saying that, oh, there's free money out there, the government has money for programs and things like that. Well, that is true to a certain extent for startups. Generally, these are high-tech startups created based on technology, often from universities. So there's the SBIR grants. And so they actually will give you money to develop a technology. It has a commercial application. There's also the small business tech transfer grants. Occasionally there are local government programs that will give grants for you to locate in a certain area. But generally free money is pretty limited. There are competitions though that you can enter, and particularly if you're a student, there are competitions you could enter that could get you a lot of money, and the money that you get from these competitions is like free money. So that can be really helpful. Many business plan competitions at universities. There are some that are focused on specific types of students or types of people or specific categories. You can just search business plan competitions and universities and you'll find a lot of them. So this is one way of getting free money. You have an advantage there because you're students, and a lot of them are focused just on students. Alternatively, you can also get loans. You can talk to the Small Business Development Center, and there's an office here in Las Vegas, and they can help you see what you would be qualified for. One loan guarantee program is the Small Business Administration Guarantee Program. They help to guarantee loans that banks offer to small businesses. And so you have a better chance if you meet certain criteria, like if you've been impacted by NAFTA or you're a rural business or a military member. Those SBA loans, they have better terms and faster approval. But a bank is concerned with getting paid back. And so if you do really well as an entrepreneur, they don't really participate in the upside of your business. But if you fail, they lose money. So banks are, generally speaking, less willing to give a loan to a brand new company. Typically, if you're going to start a business, you'd have to personally back that loan. So the better the credit you have, the more likely you are to get a loan. The longer the business is running, then there's a track record for the business, and then the bank is more likely to give loans. You can talk to the Small Business Development Center more about that. Many entrepreneurs take loans based on their house. They take out a home equity loan, or they use credit cards. Not necessarily a recommended approach, but definitely these are some other options. Also, entrepreneurs sometimes take loans against their retirement accounts.